Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I have to be a little quiet because I left my door open and I don't want to wake people up. But hi. Okay, so I'm having a really weird night and I decided to make a video. Um, and I got some questions. Well, okay, I got two. Thank you for sending me your questions. Um, Two individuals. The first question is, if you had a frog, what would you name it? I'd name my frog Harry. Adorable. It's a very fitting name. Um, but I think I would name my frog probably like Bull. So then people would be like, oh, you named your frog Bull because um he's a frog. So he's a bullfrog. And I'll be like, no, I named him Bull and his last name is shit. That's not even funny. It's not even funny. I apologize. It's not. It's definitely not funny. And then Lemma at Torquet Larry, um, my little grasshopper, said, using using the quadratic formula, or perhaps the more informal, oh my god, FOIL method, factor the binomial Harry and Louis into Harry space Louis and discuss your ideal scenario in which they meet and exist and make the babies. Okay. So, let's talk about my ideal scenario. First of all, my ideal scenario is that I'm friends with Louis. That is my ideal scenario. That he's 19 and I'm like 21, so in my scenario I'm much younger. And um and we are scientists because I've always wanted to be good at science, but I'm not. So me and Louis are scientists. Wait, we're only 19 and 20. So we're in college. So we're studying science and we work in a lab together. And Louis does a lot of like genetic stuff, a la fucking Orphan Black. So on a more undergraduate level, let's not get technical. Anyways, so he like does like genetic stuff, and like him and I like always fuck around in the lab, and we're always fucking shit up together. And Zane's in the picture too. Like Zane and me are friends because that has to be. So Louis and I work in a lab, and Zane is my friend. And then basically, one day we are like hurrying over to the lab because um, we're late. And while we're running, um, Harry is on campus and he's passing out flyers to join a sex club. That's happened to me before at college, and I didn't know what it was. And I grabbed it, and the girl was like, "Yeah, awesome!" And I was like, "Okay." I looked at the flyer, and it was a picture of like girls playing in a bubble bath, and I freaked the fuck out. And I was like, "Oh my god, no, no, I don't want this!" And then like, anyways, so Harry's passing out a sex club flyer, and Louis takes it and doesn't really think anything of it until he like looks up and sees Harry, and like Louis like kind of tries to stop, but he can't because he was running so fast. So he kind of like topples over a little bit and loses his balance. And so I stop to be like, "Oh my God, Louis, like what happened?" And I turn around and like Louis is kind of like giggling because he realized what the flyer was and he saw who was handing it out. And Harry is like kind of like a little suave, and he's like, "Well, if that's just what me handing out a flyer does to you, why don't you call the number and see what other tricks I got up my pants?" And then I lose my shit and I start laughing and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is fucking hilarious." And then Lou's like, "We gotta go. We're late for the lab in building Murphy on the third floor." And he like throws out where he works really quickly. And then we like run off giggling. And then Harry comes to the lab like a week later because he wants to give it some time. And he like comes up to Louis and he's like, "How come you haven't taken up my invitation yet?" And Louis like puts down his beaker and he's like, "I really want to study your genetics." Basically, in the ideal scenario, I'm there to witness every part of the blossoming. That's the ideal scenario, and I have such a grand imagination that I ended up on a college, and I sound like every other fanfic out there. But if I was to think even greater and bigger, maybe the ideal scenario is that me and Louis are married, and Louis is cheating on me with Harry. Oh, that would be even better. Because then I could guilt Louis into a threesome, but that's not healthy, so maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe. um. Okay. So, that's it. Those are all the questions I got. I want to thank all of you for indulging me. You guys are all wonderful people. Thank you.